Okay, live. Hi. How's everybody doing? Um, Today's been an interesting day. We're at the Taurus and Pisces moment. Like we said we were going to talk about yesterday. We're at the exploration of how Taurus and Pisces dance. And it was nice today. It was beautiful. The sun was out. It was still brisk, still cold. We were very layered, but for those that are gonna watch this back, this is technically day 19 of Pisces season, and Pisces offering number 18 because I missed that one day. Where every day we talk about the energies of what we need to know because we're closing the COVID moments. We're closing. I keep saying that we're not done with COVID. We're just ending a cycle with COVID. So, today it was beautiful out. So, I got cute and I walked around, and ended up doing actually in heels because I have priorities. 1,300 steps in a gentle heel. We were a chunk dunk in the back. It wasn't no stiletto. It was just a chunk. Like, what's the point? 2 inches, maybe. I don't think they're 3. Maybe they're 2.5. Maybe they're just 2. I don't know. But 1,300 steps in heels, walking the streets, like actually outside. And had a nice lunch, went to the yarn store, figured out a crochet pattern. Like it was a very tangible day. I found two shirts. I mean, they're ridiculous. They say LOVE. Love. But it was a very tactile day, very tangible day, which is what Taurus is. Taurus is the tangibles, the sensuals, the sensuality. The senses, seeing, touching, smelling, hearing, tasting. And where Taurus and Pisces meet is bringing sensuality into spirit. So, and yes, I mean all of the above. The senses as well as sensuality. What the ruling planet of Taurus is the Venus. And the fun thing about Venus is, yesterday I kind of tangented on her, but didn't I kind of monologued about it, but I didn't actually give you any basis for why I was saying what I was saying. So, Venus is I know exactly what I want, and I'm gonna sit back and claim it. And it's gonna come to me. And as I sit back and claim it, I'm gonna enjoy some grapes. And I'm gonna enjoy looking at some things. And it's gonna be cute. And you're welcome. So, and Venus currently is in Pisces right now. So there's that kind of, I'm going to sit back with spirit. I'm going to sit back and eat my grapes with spirit. I'm going to sit back and hang out with spirit, with my subconscious. Venus is also pen to paper, paint to canvas, says Caroline Casey. It's like you dream it with Neptune, and then you create it with Venus. Money is also Taurus. And the interesting thing about today is I got like 3 people reaching out for this time slot to book massages. And I was like, no. No. I committed to doing this every day, so I'm gonna do it. No, I can't. Oh, that's the only time you can do? Sure. Sorry about your nuggets. Not gonna happen. The other thing about Taurus is it's like I have a cup of coffee in my right hand. Therefore, you can't tell me anything else. Yes, this is a cup of coffee in my right hand, but it's glass, it's liquid, it's a bean in a different form. It's energy, right? It's the liquid consumption of energy. And when Taurus hears all this, they're like, no. And when Pisces hears all this, they're like, oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah, yes. Oh yeah. The interesting thing about the groundedness of Taurus and the elusiveness of Pisces and the yes andness of Pisces is, I think the access point is nature. When you are walking in nature, looking at the sacred geometry of a sunflower, looking at the stunning display of what this earth has to offer, could not be more Piscean and Taurusan. It's the tangible visual of how spiritual our earth is, how reverent and connected our earth is. How sensual our earth is, how tangible our earth is. And there's something about being in Yosemite or Glacier or Sedona or Big Sur and standing in that energy and being like, how can you stand here and not feel higher power? How can you stand here and not feel energy? And energy that's bigger than you. You don't even have to call it higher power. Call it the ocean. The ocean is bigger than you. A tree is bigger than you. The hill that you're standing on is bigger than you. There's a stubbornness with Taurus. There's a rigidity. So sometimes the stubbornness can be, I am being fixed in my spirituality. I'm not letting my spirituality grow. I'm not looking outside of what this doctrine is. I'm not allowing myself to see a different perspective, to grow. There's also a moment of coin. How can you imbue spirit into your finances? And as Pisces, until I surrendered to spirit being involved in my finances, I was #strugg bus. Moved to New York, 4 bouts of poverty, one right after the other. I'd get a job, it would somehow fall through. I'd get another job, it would fall through. I'd get another job, it would fall through. I got another job, fell through, until I finally came out as a tarot reader and an astrologer. Till I finally allowed myself to do what my intuition was calling me to do. I had to overcome a lot of fears in order to do that. But I did. And here we are. And this year has been absolutely incredible. Now that's my relationship to money and spirit. Your relationship to coin might be something completely different. That is how I've realized how to navigate having money. Is surrendering to spirit. #Pisces. Let's consult the tarot. I've adamantly shuffled both Love is Love and Moon. I feel like we want to consult both today for some reason. I've had a very gay day. I went to Stonewall just to look. And also crocheted in a yarn store for a while. #gay. Okay. We have 7 of Cups upside down. What? 7 of Cups upside down. 8 of Pentacles also upside down. Ace of Swords upside down. And then the Death card. Taurus and Pisces. What does this mean? Taurus and Pisces. Okay. Let's put a pin in this. And let's see what this has to say. This says, heart of the matter is the King of Wands. Five of Wands. The Queen of Cups. And then the Judgment card. No, Justice. The Justice card has come up 3 times in the last 2 days. This is Judgment. That's why I had that feeling. Okay. So, we have the 7 of Cups, and then the King of Wands upside down. So every time this card comes up, I think of it's The Secret. So this says, illusion, deception. The 7 of Cups is not the most welcome card. It indicates you'll face temptation in many aspects of your life. Whether it's cheating for pleasure or for money, you'll soon realize you've been building a house of cards. You may feel as though you can't see clearly, can't judge right from wrong, or up from down. This is the spell of the 7 of Cups. It's best to remove yourself for a while, step back until you can see straight again. Now, upside down, that's the card right side up. Look at this. Darkness. But upside down, you got the sun. The sun shining. Your cup in the center is upright, feeling cute. You're not tending to everybody else. You're tending just to yourself. So this is the answer to your deception is internal. Somebody's saying, wait, I can't trust myself. The dialogue is too much in my head. Intuition. Ooh. The other day, y'all, Jessica Lanyato's podcast, Ghost of a Podcast, is so good. She said, intuition is neutral. I'm going to repeat that. Intuition is neutral. Intuition is never going to come through as the voice that is negative. You will get the intuitive download, the intuitive moment. You'll hear the intuition, and then your consciousness will be like, ooh, I don't know that I can do that though. Right? After you hear it, then fear creeps in. Intuition will never arrive in the vein of fear, in the filter of fear. How you access this internal clarity is through craft, through the beginning of adventures, and through transformation. Yet, I had a day. Then I took a moment for myself. I put myself in a neutral space and just sat. It was glorious. That's what Facebook says. Yes. Now, in the othered sector, in the love sector, from our queer ancestry, upside down we have the King of Wands. This is the grand facilitator of creativeness. The grand facilitator of fire. Every time the king comes up, it's a moment of like, we are sitting on a huge thing. We're sitting on a huge energy. And if this energy gets overwhelming, it's going to feel like a forest fire's worth of energy. But if we can contain it, if we can facilitate it, if we can let it live via us, then it becomes kingship. Upside down, meaning we're fearful of this energy, whatever it is. We're fearful of what this is. Therefore, we haven't allowed ourselves to express it. Now, upside down, 5 of Wands, scattered lack of focus, look at the image on this. Look at this. There's moments of like, oh, sometimes some things pop into your head and you don't know if you should say them. Who are you advocating for? This to me feels like social justice warrior is at a high. Sometimes your advocacy, though intentions may be correct, could be expressed in a more spiritual way. That's such a stupid way of saying it. You know, I think you know what I mean now. We know who these people are. We know the people that are really loud, that have a lot to say. There's a reason why they're loud. There's a reason why they're yelling. I don't want to talk about anything that you should do to them or they should do to you. That's not what this is. This is upside down. So when you yell, when you engage, when you advocate, make sure that it's organized. Make sure that you've done your due diligence and you know exactly what you're advocating for. You know exactly what you're yelling about. You know exactly who you're speaking to and why. And who's seeing your stuff? If you've deleted everybody that has a differing opinion than you, then when you get on your soapbox to your social media, all of the people who are going to see it believe the same thing. Therefore, your words are useless. If you actually go to the person that has the differing opinion and you speak to them and you engage them in a loving, spiritual, healthy way, in a correct, open, loving way, an actual conversation happens without the expectation of change, just generic conversation, and you listen, then something else happens. Queen of Cups. I love this image. The Queen of Cups. This is, what emotional container are you holding for yourself? Hi. What emotional container are you holding for your femininity? What emotional container are you holding for growth? And then Judgment. Upside down. What is Judgment? Judgment is, all of these are upside down. Judgment is forgiveness. Forgiveness. Forgiveness for the fear. Rooting this back to the King of, I know we've fully tangented with the Five of Wands, but rooting this back to the King of Wands. Forgiving yourself for judging the creativity that wants to be expressed from you. Forgiving yourself for not acting on this creativity because of fear. Forgiving yourself for questioning why this creativity chose you. Forgiving yourself for not putting yourself in a container of healthy, loving, open, emotional stability for this creation. Forgiving yourself for getting overwhelmed, lashing out, pointing the finger at somebody else when you know that you are just as responsible as who you're yelling at. That's what this is. So, is there a question? I think that might help me for those that aren't here. Or does this all make sense? I'll give it a moment. I feel like you were speaking directly to me, my friend. Okay. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you understand. I think let's end with this. This is twofold. This is external energies coming at us and internal energies coming from within. This is broken heart and 5 of Cups, emotional sadness. Look at the tear. I love this painting too. This artist is stunning. So, what's helped me through the years as being someone who is flamboyant and different and doesn't choose to hide who I am in public. I get a lot of people saying things on the streets. A lot of people lashing out at my existing, at my expression. And every time that happens, I try not to, but if I'm being 100% honest, then I internalize it. And I kind of put it in a box that stays open. A box that is my like day-to-day traumas box. And when I do my energy work on myself, I just generically keep emptying that box. But I also take a moment to understand that when they lash out at me, when I'm being lashed out at, you know what I mean? It's coming from this place. It's coming from a place of brokenheartedness and grief and sadness. And the other thing that I do when I am healing myself, I also energetically send them love. And I allow for my own healing, but then I just love them. Because I can. Because I know that I also have a broken heart. And I also have traumatic emotional attachments that I'm working through. And so I know what this feels like. I know that I will never not feel this. But I know that I'm doing a different job. I'm processing it differently than they are. So I don't know. Understand that the expectation of overcoming a broken heart and emotional sadness is something that you will always work on. If you expect to one day not have a broken heart and never feel sadness, then you're setting yourself up for failure. If you allow yourself to expect to constantly be loving yourself in a new, unique way, constantly be understanding what these emotions are and loving them, creating a process for that, then that's a different dialogue. That's a more aware dialogue. That's only setting yourself up for success dialogue. And, my mom, when I was bullied when I was younger, my mom would always be like, oh, they're just jealous of you. And that's a sure. But I think it's different to think about it as they're hurting just as much, maybe even more than you. Because they're seeing you express yourself openly and freely, and they feel like they can't do that. So how does that help you as the victim? Love. It doesn't. It doesn't. But love. It's a different perspective, and it's time. Allow yourself to see the different perspective and give yourself time. Give yourself time to alchemize. Give yourself time to mix oil and water. Give yourself time to love. How are we feeling? This was a doozle diddle. We've had many tangents. Let's take a breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. I am always here for questions and readings. Yes. I've been listening to some 2021 forecasts again. And the Uranus and Saturn conjunction keeps coming up in all the 2021 forecasts. And that's the changing of systems. And in order for systematic change to happen, it has to get ugly first. You have to see all the problems before you see the way out. And we have to go through that process within ourselves too. You have to know the problem before you can understand how to heal. if you don't know that you have to heal, then why would you? So part of understanding, part of being faced with negativity, being faced with darkness, is another opportunity to see the light, is another opportunity for connecting to your soul. When you find yourself in the stubbornness of Taurus, in the stubbornness in your journey, when you find yourself in the stubbornness of Taurus, choose grounded spiritual sensuality. Choose the senses. Choose what we know. Listen to something stunning. Look at art. Taste profound food. Smell empowering senses. And touch yourself in a loving way. The other day, yesterday, I was getting a massage, and because of all this spiritual work that I've been doing, I've kind of, in a way, I haven't been doing my yoga, and so I've kind of like lost touch with my physical body, and not like in a bad way, but just I felt bigger than myself, and that kind of crept up in like a body dysmorphia. When I looked in the mirror, I was seeing myself as bigger than my actual frame. And he put his thumbs together and then like wrapped his hands to the outside of my spine. And I was like, oh, that's my body. That's how big I am. Okay. Interesting. Now I know. It's not what I thought. So, take a minute for yourself this evening, or whenever you have time, to understand your body, to get embodied. Understand your boundaries. Understand your frame. And do it with spirit. Because why not? Okay. I love you all. This was a long one today. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time. And dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Goodbye. Goodbye.